Right. I mean, Steve is absolutely right. I mean, he didn't quite say this, but I will say Donald Trump did not create this problem. Donald Trump has capitalized on the existing distrust of the media in order to say fake news and try to discredit the entire media ecosystem. I mean, the objective is clear. He's doing it in order to say, I'm the only one you can trust. He wants to say, you can only believe me, you can't believe any of these other people, so that it discredits any negative news that's reported about him because he's discrediting the givers of that news. That predated him. It's incredibly dangerous to do that, as you say, to dismiss the entire news media ecosystem and say, no, you're all fake news. And that really troubles me. It's dangerous not only for American democracy, it's dangerous for governments and systems around the entire world. And we've seen a lot of autocrats around the world taking a page from Donald Trump, using the term fake news. Duterte in the Philippines has done it. Maduro in Venezuela was doing it even before Donald Trump, giving out fake news awards. This is terrible and really corrosive to democracy and government. But I will say, in terms of us acknowledging that, yes, people have a problem with us, particularly people on the right. We have to. And the science shows this, the surveys show this. Our poll showed that something like 77% of Republicans don't trust the news media, whereas it's almost flipped for Democrats. That is a real problem. So how do we address that? Steve is already doing something at the Weekly Standard with joining the International Fact-Checking Network, which is housed at Poynter. They're doing their own fact checks when he has said, well, conservatives have a problem with fact checks. They feel it's like, what do you choose to fact check, right? So now he can say, okay, we're going to fact check the things we want to fact check. As long as you're smothering every story in facts, that is what's important. As long as you're saying, here are the facts, you know, you can fact check this person or that person, it doesn't matter. Make sure that facts are everywhere in that. And we need to be transparent. We need to not just listen to readers and viewers and listeners. We need to make clear that we have heard them. And one way to do that is, people criticize this, but the New York Times the other day turned over its editorial pages to Trump voters and made it all letters to the editor from Trump voters. That's a way of saying, we're listening to you, we're hearing you, and here are your views, and showing them. That's one way to do it. The Washington Post has done some tremendous stuff with being really transparent about how you do your work, whether it's annotating stories, whether it's your series, How to Be a Journalist, where you interview people in the newsroom about how they got their stories. That kind of transparency, labeling what's opinion, what's news, and making it clear and obvious so that I don't get, you know, angry readers saying, you were a biased news reporter. And I say, wait a second, I'm a columnist. Right. Bias is a feature, not a bug. You know, it's supposed to be. Right. But, you know, that is the point, making it clear to people and showing back to them that you are listening and this is how we do our job.
April, you're really responding to the term fake news, of course.
Yeah, and Indira, you're right about a couple pieces. But I have 2 points. One, when you say fake news and it's targeted at people, it's putting a target on our heads. And I say this from the knowledge of being a target. You know, I said this recently, and it's true, I've gotten death threats because people have taken it too far. And we're so tribal now, it's like, just because you ask questions of a president, and I have the utmost respect for the office and this president, and I want to interview this president. I want a one-on-one interview. But people are looking at it like I hate him or I'm trying to do something. I'm reporting to you things you may not like, but they're fact. And then when you try to suppress the press, it's not about suppressing us, it's about suppressing the information that you need. So people need to stop saying fake news, and understand it's deeper than that. It's about suppressing information and fact that you need to understand to be able to formulate your own opinion on who to vote for, on a situation in your community, what have you. So this is bigger than just this moment in time, but it's getting very dangerous.